What up, y'all?
You hungry? Hungry? Now that you're not shit anymore? Huh?
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the...
Hey. Hey. Hey.
I don't know what that man be doing, boy.
You hungry? Yeah, Coach, what are you doing? Baby boo. Hey, no. Hey, no.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The scene a few moments ago.
No, what wrong with your shit, bro? You want?
What you think he says, candy?
No, I don't want that shit. Hey, it's candies. Hmm? For you. You go throw that shit over there. I'm taking it.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit! All right, here we go. 3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Watch it now, Barney!
They run a draw here on 2nd down. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. And a nice gain at 21 yards. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let me make that chicken. I'm not going to season it. Like I did when I put it in the oven.
On 1st down, they go with Dixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 47 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They're going to look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coach?
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. Give. This is Dixon. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On second down, it's Dixon. And he's got this one down to the 10. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, here's Dixon. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
All right, here we go. Boom, 90.
He'll look to throw. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. That one goes for 24 yards.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. On play action, they'll throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, that's Robbins trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the 1st down conversion.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. In for the score. And the Rams have tied the game with the extra point to come. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And they take the lead here at 7-6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Clock runs, less than a minute to go, and an entertaining first quarter of play.
Alaska! Alaska! Delta! Delta! Alaska! Alaska!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Now a handoff for Dixon. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, oh, he's a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Brown. Now on first, Dixon again. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Rocket, Delta, Alpha, Hut, Beeville.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They go play action here on 1st down. Going up top. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Detroit!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Look, the 1st down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a 1st down.
On 3rd down, it's Robbins. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now, let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jackson. A gain of 6 there on 1st. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop it for a loss of about 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he spins through. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it third down.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on second and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for him. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on third down.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Yeah, he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Set. Blue 43.
He'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And it's complete. Hooper. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. They'll look to throw here on first down. Buying time to his left. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cardinals are in for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see, do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Rams on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. They'll set up to throw. Jackson's got it over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job. Now a hit and a loose football. Fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The drive begins with a run by Dixon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Now Dixon. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Looking to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. In for the score. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Now after the made field goal, Catanzaro to boot this one away on the kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll drop to throw. And able to connect with Berrios. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will.
And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
Now back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. There defensively was John Johnson to knock it free.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. That's pulled in at the 32. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Right back to him on 1st down. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sullivan. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here we go now. Boom, line it.
Back to throw here. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Jackson. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And they'll go on the ground. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. As his guys are in for 6. And the Rams are able to get back within a touchdown. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will shrink to 6. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out now come the Cardinals. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They'll start the drive with Dixon. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Let's go! Let's go!
They'll look to throw now on first down. Incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And finding the tight end Hooper. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
They're going to look to throw. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Escaping the pressure right. This will be caught inside the 10. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Dixon. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field. But defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. Back now in Los Angeles. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point: get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Rams on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go. 319.
They'll look to throw here. And this is caught by Jackson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Right side caught by Jackson. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that. So
from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Set, red 24.
Right back to Dixon. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive.
There he goes left side. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A huge play that time for the Rams. 53 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Rams have got this back to a 1-score game. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead is down to 2. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now it's Dixon, and the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Houston! Austin!
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. Yeah, he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Dixon on the pitch. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. It's a gain of 3, and it sets him up with 2nd and just 2 yards to go. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Houston!
On play action, they'll throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run and play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll run with Dixon. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Wide open receiver complete. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He's back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there. And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So for the Cardinals, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.